Welcome back to GBS Morning Extra, viewer. If you're just joining us, you're watching GBS Morning Extra live, coming to you from our studios here in Nairobi, Kenya. To keep the conversation going, let's do this using our hashtag, that's GBS Morning Extra. Also, you can use our Twitter handle, that's at Kenya GBS. Our SMS line is 21144. 21144 is the number. And as I mentioned earlier today, we have with us a very special guest who will be talking to us about the importance of, just making sure that during this time when the country is facing this pandemic, which has hit the whole world, that we actually are able to, adhere to the simple rules, and also we are able to watch out for what is happening around us. Online this morning, I have with me Joshua. Joshua, can you hear me? Good morning, Joshua.
Yes, good morning to you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Good morning once again.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, Joshua, maybe you can just introduce yourself to our viewers very briefly as we start this conversation.
Yeah, once again, good morning to you. We've been talking on the issue of coronavirus in the country and everywhere globally. That is the subject in everybody's table right now. But our concept we discussing our hands here is taking care of the people on the streets. Everyone for himself. But we're trying to call on the leaders, our national leaders, to also consider the people on the street to care for them. We're talking about the street children who are caring, we sensitizing them on the danger of the disease, this pandemic thing that is ongoing around our nation. So it's our heartbeat that at this point in time, we have to care and sensitize and provide something to educate these children on the deadly pandemic disease.
Definitely.
And I'm glad that we're sharing this to the entire.
Definitely true. I think it's a topic that not many people have actually touched on, Joshua, because when we look around, everybody is really concerned. And even when you're talking about lockdowns, this means that people are being told to stay at home. But quite an interesting perspective that you've raised there about the street children. So when we lock ourselves at home, when we say it's a total shutdown and we are locking ourselves at home, where do these kids go? Where is their home?
And now these children don't have home, they don't have where to lay their head. The street is their home. And now we say everybody should stay at home. So if we all stay at home, where do these children stay? And remember, these are the future of Africa. These are the future of Kenya.
Yeah, sure, Joshua. And something else I would also like to engage you in, and maybe, I don't know, do you know of any organization or any individuals, or what would be your recommendation in terms of how to handle this whole issue? Because when we look, then we realize that then someone needs to do something about it. Is there anyone who is doing something about it so far?
So far, we've not seen any organization or even seeing the government agencies coming up in this. We want to take law into our hands. We need backing, we need the leaders to initiate this, then individual organization cannot come in. You understand? We don't want to take law into our hands. We need the leaders, we need the Ministry of Youth and Children to initiate this. Then organization, NGO, churches cannot even say, we want to be part of this. But first and foremost, we need the leaders to take the step, to take the lead.
Very true. So what you're saying is that if the government could take initiative, then it would pave way, or it would set the pace for other non-governmental organizations and also, church institutions or religious institutions to come in and help you.
Exactly.
Now,
okay. So we need the government.
Joshua, you're breaking a little bit, but let me, if you're hearing, if you're hearing me.
Yeah, and also, you see, as much as
Hello, Joshua, you're breaking. You're breaking. I cannot hear you. Your network is breaking. Well,
I hear you.
you can hear me?
Yes.
Sawa. The question I was asking is, you say what you're suggesting is that, the government set precedence. The government paved the way and start the initiative, and then it's easier now to see other non-governmental organizations and other religious organizations also come in. That's what you're saying?
Individual churches. Exactly. That we need the Ministry of Youth and Children. We need the Ministry of Environment to set the pace and say, look, we have these children on the street who don't have. When they set the pace, it is easier for NGOs, for individuals who are passionate about seeing these children, to not come in.
Indeed, yeah.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, because there are organizations that actually deal only with children issues.
Yeah.
Now, Joshua, I'd like to engage you in another, also in another aspect as well. Out there right now, the government has put out some measures. The government has put out some measures. And in these measures that the government has put, then we've seen, officials going out, fumigating the streets and so on and so forth. Right now, there are cases of people posing as, health officials and coming to our homes and saying, we are from the ministry and we are coming out to fumigate your house or your compound. And then they just turn out to be crooks. What do you have to say about this?
Now, on that aspect, we just need, thank God for this platform. People need to be adequately sensitized. They need to be well informed so that some people won't take this as an advantage, because security aspect of these pandemic things has to also, when you say people stay in their houses, people not go anywhere,
yes.
Lockdown and state have put out people to say let them go around street fumigations and all of that. There is a need proper awareness, so some people will not impersonate themselves as health officials, robbing people and taking advantage of them. You remember during the last census in Kenya, the government sensitized people and gave full awareness to come into your house. So at this point, we're calling to be very, very careful as to whom they open their door. Because I can be in my house and somebody come in and said it's been sent to fumigate my house, is the coronavirus thing, and from there something else comes up, such as taking advantage of people. Come on air, go through the media and let the people know the signs these duties to. So that when someone knocks on your door, you can identify them either with a tag, either with an ID card, either with other, to really show that these are government agencies, not criminals. Are you getting that? So there is a need for us to be aware and create this security awareness.
Definitely true.
For individuals who are just locked down at home.
Yeah, definitely true there, Joshua, because also right now, even as we speak, the government has been very categorical, and we saw the other day the PS for internal security, and also we saw the police boss come out and give an order to the National Police Service also to make sure that the restrictions or the rules that are the new measures that were announced by the government are enforced, which means now there are some places where we will see plainclothes police come in and also, try to enforce laws where people are not actually adhering to the laws. Then, in your take, because right now, yesterday the minister or the cabinet secretary said that the government is going to announce measures today. Stricter measures today. And, there's this anticipation. about, what the stricter measures mean. Probably if you're still on the line, hello, can you hear me? Joshua, can you hear me? Yeah, maybe you can just address the issue of...
I can hear you clearly.
There's an anticipation of a total lockdown in terms of, measures to try and curb the situation. What would you make of this, and what would you say to our viewers about this?
Now, one thing we should know is that, for us, even as much as the fears for years are coming up to educate us, but at this point, people should not open their doors. They should not allow strangers in their homes. Do not allow strangers into your home. And if you suspect any of these kind of things around your neighborhood, kindly report to the general public now that they should not open their doors to strangers. There should be means of identifying you as health officers assigned by the government of Kenya to go into homes or to go into streets. If you see any stranger around your area who does not have this identity, it is important that we quickly report this to the nearest police station. So that we cause to more dangers as long as we are here putting ourselves in safety, then we'll open our doors and our family, our children into more danger.
Yesterday we had...
So our advice is that people should not just open their doors and straight to strangers.
Besides strangers, Joshua, yesterday we had the CS come out, and he was very agitated, and he actually spoke of the government sending children home so that children can get protection and children can be prevented from this virus. But then parents are still letting in, people into their homes. Maybe some of them come in as, just relatives coming to visit, or we have even some of them hiring tutors to come into their homes and teach the children. And the CS is saying, hey, look, these people, for all you know, these people could be coronavirus positive. What do you make of that?
I think the CA is very much right over that, because at this point what we need is not to whereby these things, because let's say kids should be home. I believe if they are home, they are home to that. Education is parent-teacher things. You don't, at this point, teach them basic things. It is not necessary to their homes so the best idea is let parents also take education to their children what you know over the years. I believe most of our parents, they can play their role right now. This is a season and a time education, and like I say, charity begins at home.
Sure.
Where training should take over now. Yes.
Sure.
Together, educate themselves, with a parent who insisted want to take the child for picnic. I said, no. She said, if I don't take this child for picnic, I've already promised her, if I don't take to be hungry, she will cry. I said, no, educate the child on what is going on right now. Let child know, look, you can't go for picnic today. Let's take you out for this reason and for this reason. And she said, oh, that's good. Then she went to discuss with the child. At the end of the day, the child just, agreed with what the mom said. So then parent educating their children at this point in time.
Well, sure. Joshua, thank you. Joshua, thank you very much. Your connection is not very clear. Joshua, but we do really thank you, and probably we will find another time when the line is much clearer and we can continue with this conversation. Thank you very much for having time to join us, Joshua. We hope to have you again next time. Well, Joshua, we welcome. You're welcome. Well, viewer, Indeed, you have had, adding on to what the CS for Health yesterday was mentioning about parents and their children. And we've also heard from Joshua that even this is not the right time also to be taking our kids for picnics and all these kind of things. Although we did promise, but then it's also important for children also to understand that these are perilous times, and they also need to understand what is going on in the society so that they themselves can also take precaution wherever they'll be playing, or even if they're handling themselves within the house. Well, viewer, that actually brings us to the end of this segment. We will try as much as possible to try and bring you all the up-to-date speeds. Today also the minister, that's the CS for Health, Mutahi Kagwe, will be making an announcement that he said yesterday the government will be communicating about further measures to be taken in terms of ensuring that the country is at par with keeping the coronavirus at bay and also in containing the whole situation. From our offices this time, and also from our broadcast this morning, we do wish you a good day, and I hope that you will keep it locked here on GBS TV. My name is Timothy Omondi. Do have yourself a lovely day, and God bless.